Hey guys, what's up? Joshua Martinez here. Um, I wanted to do a quick update, guys. I know I haven't been on YouTube for a while. Been handling some things up north. I'm not in Las Vegas right now. I'm a little north of Vegas, handling some things, taking care of the property out here. Um, I wanted to do this video because I have seen a couple of videos from people critics of negative critics of auditors. Um, a lot of people are arguing, and not arguing, criticizing auditors and saying, well, our purpose is only to antagonize, annoy, to get a reaction. For some auditors, I mean, if that's what they want, if that's the case, I mean, there's nothing I can do. That's the content they want to upload to YouTube. The auditors that I like, I don't believe that's what their purpose is. James Freeman, for example, is a great auditor. I think he exposes the ignorance and the corruption in with our law enforcement, the bully culture that is embedded in law enforcement today. He does a great job at exposing that. News Now Houston as well. News Now Patrick. Those are great guys to follow, and I know I'm missing some. Uh, but those are the things that we see, or those are the people who we see in the auditing field, in the auditing community. Um, I, I I wanted to just give my opinion on this. I don't believe first or the auditing is a First Amendment issue only. It isn't about just First Amendment. This is also a property rights issue, which the First Amendment is a property right as well. Um, my camera is my property. I use my camera to document life as it passes me by. I want to document it, to archive it, and put it in an archive, share it with my great grandchildren and my descendants to come. These times right now that I'm in, I'm experience. I've I have experienced so many great things when I became an activist, and a lot of those moments I didn't take pictures of, and I didn't record a lot of those good moments because I am still that person who likes to absorb the sunset and the sunrise without getting my camera in the way. I like to just sit and watch it. But my camera is my property, and there are times I want to document life as it passes me by. I want to enter a government building and document my encounter with government officials and share it with my future family members, with my children, with their children, and my great grandchildren. If I'm still alive and blessed to be in their presence, I will share it with them to remind them that it can be a hobby, but it can also be a patriotic duty when it comes to public officials. I think the camera has been a great tool to expose corrupt officials, especially in government buildings and government offices, or police stations. I think that if the government was to make me strip myself of certain property before entering into a public building, I believe that's a property rights issue. It's a violation of due process. You have not deemed me unworthy to possess my camera. My camera is obviously not, it's not an inherently dangerous tool like a firearm is. I know they won't allow people into a courtroom with a firearm, and that's because, hey, you may have a loved one that's facing the death penalty and you might lose it and want to try to help them out. But my camera in a courtroom, I do not see how that may be a danger. I still fail to see the logic behind that. A lot of folks, I've seen a couple of videos where people have tried to defend the government's stance on recording in public buildings or public employees in their official capacity. Um, I heard one particular lawyer, I forgot his name, but he said that there is a certain expectation of privacy while in public. I agree with that. For example, public restrooms. I know there's perverts out there who want to sneak a camera in a women's restroom, plant it to gather certain footage that is sexual in nature. That is not First Amendment protected activity. That is peeping and peering with an electronic device, which is a crime because the person is aroused by what they see. They are invading someone's privacy, and in society, nudity is not accepted. Maybe 100 years from now, people might be walking around naked and feel comfortable with that. But as of right now, that is unusual, and it is not normal to walk around naked. So a lot of folks, women. How would you feel? You turn around and you see some guy with a mirror on his shoe taking pictures under your skirt. That right there, that is a crime. That is not First Amendment protected activity. So the very articulate, intelligent scholars out there who are trying their best to demonize what we do by bringing up those certain incidents and those certain crimes to deprive us of this right to record public officials in public areas, as long as we're not putting it in someone's face to where you're making physical contact. I don't think that's First Amendment protected activity either. But right now we're seeing a lot of people who are and not only activists. We're seeing a lot of we're seeing lawyers and other people who are opposers of auditing try to justify the government's position and their acts of either prohibiting us from entering or arresting us for nuisance charges, trespassing charges, creating a public disturbance charges. Though that is totally incorrect. That is an assault on the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights, but above all, universal law. Like I said, this is a property rights issue. This is a First Amendment issue. But I want to document life as it passes me by. If my camera offends certain people, and now my liberties are at the mercy of someone's feelings, then we really don't have freedom. If that's the case, then my shirt may not be allowed in certain buildings because it's a Second Amendment, it's a pro-Second Amendment shirt, and some people are still afraid of firearms. They still have this phobia of firearms. My camera is not a weapon. It cannot be used to harm another person. To me, it's not just a tool, but it's also a journal. I want to document my life and speak into the camera, and maybe one day my great grandchildren will be watching this and sharing wonderful moments together, remembering who I was. That today is a beautiful thing. We have the ability to do that. It's like a time capsule. We can record our thoughts, record what goes on around us. We're seeing lots of changes in this world, not only with politics, but in technology. We're seeing a lot of great advances. Why not document these things? So for people who want to demonize auditors simply for having a camera, walking into a building and saying we are a problem and we're causing havoc, I think is lunacy. I think it's crazy to say that a camera can do so much damage when we're walking into buildings that have cameras all over the place. And that's the most peculiar, terrifying thought, ideology to have, that it's okay for government to record us, but it's not okay for one civilian that the government is recording to hold a camera and point it right back. They have conditioned us to believe that anything the government does is okay. Look at with drugs. Alcohol is legal. Marijuana isn't. It's federally illegal. Ask. I remember asking people back in the day, and if you still ask some people today, why is marijuana dangerous? Well, because it's not legal. Why is alcohol okay? Well, because it's legal. But yet, alcohol has been involved with more homicides uh, on the planet more than any other drug. That's how the government has conditioned us. They conditioned us to believe that the decisions they make is right and it's correct. But if we allow them more and more grounds into our personal life, into into our life in general, things are going to get worse. Anything they've been involved with has been bad. So that's why auditors, well, at least for me, I like going to public buildings not to antagonize or to get a reaction, but to also test their knowledge on the U.S. Constitution. You've seen my encounters with some of these officers. They don't know anything about the U.S. Constitution, but yet they raise their right hand and promise to defend it, even till death. Well, how do you know you're willing to die for it if you haven't read it? So I don't think that they're afraid, and this is a security issue. I believe that this is more of an ego thing with the government. We're exposing the corruption. We're exposing the amount of ignorance people have in just basic human rights and that work for the government. We're exposing these people. That's what the government really fears. It isn't the fact that, well, we don't want people to feel unsafe while they're in our public buildings filling out reports and stuff like that. No, that has nothing to do with it. The fact that this movement is gaining momentum is scaring them. This is a movement that is gaining momentum and that it's gathering its right people. Yeah, I know a lot of people hate us. I get the trolls on my account all the time. But you know what? You keep pushing forward. You keep exposing. You keep showing the ignorance involved with government. And that's going to rattle the cage. That will definitely rattle the cage. So if the government is trying so hard, in different cases, I mean, they're trying to trespass us. I mean, I've been arrested at the federal courthouse. I've been trespassed from state buildings for auditing, doing what I do. But that, I mean, that shows that the lengths they're willing to go to justify their ignorant, childish actions against us, to prevent us from documenting their mistakes, documenting their ignorance. And there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm just saying they're ignorant to certain things. And I think it's important to utilize this camera to educate, to engage in a dialogue and open up the talks of actual liberty. I think right now people are afraid of talking about freedom and liberty because they know the government is watching us. They're watching us, and when people know that they're watching them, they are less likely to be politically active. So turn on the camera, share your ideas, speak into the camera, go and document your encounters with public officials. Don't be afraid. Carry the case law with you that defends your right. But not only that, understand human nature, understand human laws. If I have the ability to sketch a building, why can't I capture that building on a camera? Why can't I walk into it? Just because a couple people feel uncomfortable doesn't mean that I have to strip myself of certain liberties just so others can feel a little sense of security. Our founding fathers said that. Benjamin Franklin was one who's touched on that topic. So guys, just a quick update on that. I didn't want to make this video too long. I will upload it. I have some more content coming up. I hope you guys stick around and see what I have to post, and hopefully inspire some of you to get up and get your camera and start going out there to record. Brian Hubble, shout out to you. I'm glad to see that you're doing some auditing and that you're doing your part as well, and I hope that maybe you can inspire someone else to get their camera stand up and also take part in this movement. I'm proud to be part of this movement. I'm excited about it. It's growing. Hopefully, 50 years from now, we can look back on these times and share a laugh, share a smile, remember a tear that we shed for an assault on liberty, and remember how important it is to teach others about liberty and the principles of righteousness. So, if you guys if you guys want to share this. Just a reminder, more content to come. Haven't forgotten about you guys. Just been crazy busy, especially around the holidays, trying to get things done. So I'll sign off. This is Joshua Martinez. One City Boys stand for freedom. I love you guys, and remember why we do this: God, country, and family. Peace out.